Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy, I'm back, and today we gonna be watching the evisceration of Donut Man Jidion. What's going on with JD Sports, man? He hasn't been in the controversy for a long time, so let's see what's going on with him, okay?
You not saying anything profound. They're not, like, bro, like, I'm gonna be real, bro. None of these people watching the video like DH. Bro, they're telling you, hey man, do your videos like this, do a thumbnail like that, do a title like this, man. Because I never want anybody to feel like that. If I don't know, but even if I read it to one of y'all, man, I'm gonna give you advice I wish I had, bro. None of these people watching the video like DH.
Yo, D.
Whoa. Is that the new cash money grab? Cash rules everything around me. Cream. Gotta get the money. Is that the new thing? Crying on stream? I've been seeing a whole lot of different creators doing it. Personally, I feel like it's to garner sympathy because I can't imagine it's coming from a genuine place, because you got to imagine you're crying and you're knowingly crying on stream. But I don't know. But let's see why he's crying.
Swing back. My goat is washed, so we're using old Jidion prank footage to pay respect to the humble grinder we once had. So Jidion cried after making fun of my channel, and honestly, I don't think I had that on my YouTube 2026 bingo card, but it's pretty funny that it happened. Mostly because now, for the second time in my life, I can say I'm at the end of a Jidion hate campaign. It's great lore though. But honestly, I wanted to make this video because I think it's weird that a 25-year-old man is once again diminishing my dream because I talked about him for 4 minutes in a 10-minute video. I also want to engage with some of your criticisms because I think calling me a hypocrite and minimizing my video to me being this hurt 17-year-old is pretty disrespectful to the broader point I was making. And for a person that's so hurt, I wasn't even the one crashing out.
Bro, so I gotta worry about every fucking person who's your ass distasteful. Oh, you made a fucking joke during your prank kit. Oh, you did this. Oh, you did that. Oh, fuck all that. Fuck all that shit, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do my shit the way I wanna fucking do it. You know what? Your priorities are fucked. And you know why your priorities are fucked? Because you're worried about the bigger name. That's why you're saying that video wasn't about me. Bullshit, that video wasn't about me. Fucking, I'm the thumbnail. I'm crying.
Y'all was on my dick for being passionate, but that's a 25-year-old man crashing out over 4 minutes. That seems like he took some personal. Also, he's a part of the video. I can put his face in the thumbnail. Since we're talking about the video in question, I want to address the hypocrisy narrative going around because I see that's been used as a blanket defense spread by the Jidion camp. Not only do I think that's disrespectful to the broader point I was making as a whole, Jidion also stopped my video 6 minutes in and didn't bother finishing it. How can I be labeled a hypocrite when my video wasn't even consumed in full? But DH, you didn't watch his video. His video shouldn't exist. Like I said, Jidion watched 6 minutes out of my 10-minute video. The first 2 were about that clout chaser. The following 4 were about Jidion, and then he stopped the video, formed his own opinion.
All right, for those who ain't watched the video, because I did, like I said, I'm just like y'all. What? He's like me. Yep, I'm just like y'all. I just didn't post it. But essentially, that video stopped giving predators attention. He was making a video about this dude who's pretty much consciously making the decision to be a predator and be a PDF to garner attention and gain an audience and subscriptions and stuff and fame and notoriety, etc. Right? And then he essentially said that he wasn't gonna stop doing something. I forgot what it was initially until Jidion responds, because he wanted to prove that these To Catch a Predator videos are fake, yada yada yada. But we all know what it really was. He just wanted free promo, and that's essentially what happened. And during the video, he was pretty much just saying the solution is not to give predators attention. The solution is to actually just boycott them and to pretty much make them obsolete within the content creation space altogether. But I don't know why Jidion is so hurt about it, because he didn't make any like derogatory claims or any harsh claims to any magnitude. So let's see what's going on.
Opinion and reacted to that same 6 minutes on stream. As you know, he watched the video beforehand, and then he made fun of my YouTube career on Discord, which sounds pretty personal to me, especially considering the fact in my original video I said, which is why I don't think anyone's actually evil or bad for making their videos on this person, Jidion included. And I need everyone to know that across all 3 movies in the 2026 Jidion vs. DH beef, I've maintained the same stance. My issues with Jidion are not personal. There isn't any beef, and there aren't even hard feelings, even now. And I'll go as far as saying, in terms of catching predators, he's pretty good at it. Trust me, I wouldn't say that if I didn't believe it. I don't even like the man. He's a crybaby, and he tried to make it seem like 50k subs ain't shit. But I'll get to that later. When it comes to the hurt...
Whoa, 50k! What? 50K is a lot. I think I'm at 5 right now, and I appreciate y'all for subscribing. If you ain't subscribed, you're a weirdo. So go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment right now. Anyways, yeah, 50K is a lot, man. That's a lot of people willing to subscribe and then watch your content. That ain't nothing to play down or joke about. I don't know why people who have millions of subscribers or even hundreds of thousands of subscribers try to play down people who are on the come up or don't have as much as them when they had to start in those same shoes. Like, it's the whole, what is it? Building a pyramid of dead bodies on your way to the top. You know what I'm saying? So you just have a throne sitting over people you've had to stomp over and belittle, and it's like you all had to start in the same position. But Jidion, he need to take a chill pill. He need to smoke him one and relax.
17-year-old narrative, it doesn't even make sense from a morality standpoint nor actuality. Morality wise, allowing your fans to harass and attempt to bully a 17-year-old and telling him that he isn't going anywhere as a 23-year-old millionaire is something a dickhead would do. Ain't he supposed to be Christian though? Yes, I'm Christian. Am I right? Morality wise though, why would anyone with an ounce of sympathy try to gaslight or tell a person who went through those circumstances that they were tripping? And the funniest part about all of this is that I told Jidion his fans were harassing me and that it was crazy, and then he ghosted me. I mentioned this because he claims I could just DM him on Discord.
No, not at all.
You have my Discord. Why can't you just DM me? Bro, like I said, your point is so mute because you actually have me on Discord where...
Oh, look, he lied. Now, in actuality, it's not even about a vendetta because the video itself isn't about Jidion, and it isn't even about the clout chaser. It was about not giving certain things your energy. And if Jidion simply watched the video, the entire point would be spelled out for him. Rakai isn't worse than Speed, but because he's easy to criticize, people are willing to cling onto moments where the criticism ain't even all that necessary. It's less about their local thoughts and more about fitting in, more about being a part of something bigger. And the something bigger is what can we critique Rakai on next? When in reality, it should be how can we stop giving this little annoying nigga attention? Because he's still annoying, just not annoying enough to where people should be projecting all this vitriol. That's what I think. So with that being said, we should really stop giving our attention to content or media just because it's popular. We should be more intentional with our consumption, especially the bigger guys, because you run the risk of turning LARPing as a file into a valid method.
You trying to equalize it.
So did you not make a video about me talking about a fake pedophile? Yes or no?
I made a video about people not giving their energy to things that...
No, you made a video about me. I'm the thumbnail.
You can't critically think that...
Bro, what? Just because you're the thumbnail doesn't mean it's about you. Like he said, if you're a part of the video, having you in the thumbnail just makes sense as well as any other thumbnail that would have anything to do with the video. People just got main character syndrome. Like, why does it matter, bro? You could tell, yeah, he really didn't watch it because I did. Like I said, I watched it. And literally his point was just stop giving things energy that we don't want to see grow. And it's funny because Young Don the Sauce God, he says this a lot. It's like his mantra, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much anything you give energy grows, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure he got it from like a philosopher or on his own spiritual growth journey, but that's neither here nor there. The sentiment and the point's still the same. And what that means is what you focus on and give your attention to is going to grow. And speaking from experience, that's true. If you ever wonder why you feel like, for example, like life is so hard, life is so this and stuff, it's probably because most of the time your general thought or your day-to-day thought is negative, pessimistic, worrisome. You know, you're stressed out. You're always thinking about the next thing you have to do, what you need to do, bills, rent, responsibilities, children if you have those, school, you know, your family, providing for yourself in this economy, a whole lot of things. But it's a lot easier said than done. But yeah, that's literally what's the point. And it makes sense. Like a lot of people hating on Rakai. Well, if you don't like Rakai, then why are you pretty much just giving him attention and allowing him to make more money? And by you giving him said attention and him making more money off of it, it only encourages said bad behavior, on top of the fact that he doesn't have any positive male men role models in his life. That's a whole nother side tangent. But yeah, Jidion, JD Sports did not watch the video. Like, that's clear as day.
I mean that's not what the video is.
What do you
about.
mean I can't critically think?
Because I said it in the video. No, you actually stopped the video.
You put clout chaser over me and then put me crying.
Jidion, you know how you're a hypocrite? The same way you said you didn't watch my your video, I had another section that dives even deeper to this. I talk about Rakai because you two are simply vehicles. You weren't even the only thing I talked about.
But the title is Stop Giving Predators.
You're not that important to me. You're just a part of the video.
You see how the stream clip matches my original video and how Jidion
This is one of those conversations where it's like it's just two people operating at two different intellectual capacities. So when they're looking at the same point, they're getting two entirely different perspectives from it. And then Jidion in this case is unable, or unable I should say, to expand his thought outside of himself and look at it from like, okay, what is he saying? He's saying I'm a vehicle. And what does a vehicle do? It transports, it moves things, people, you know what I'm saying? It's a tool. Okay, what does that mean? How does that apply? You know, that's what he means by critically think, Jidion.
Jidion is trying to assert what my video is about, even though the video answers his question. I remember everyone was on my dick about cutting Jidion off, but this guy is telling me what my video is about, and he didn't even watch it. The video answered his question, which means he went into the debate ignorant. And it's like Stream DH said,
you're not that important to me.
I gave you 4 minutes of my attention and you turned it into a 2-hour stream segment. Let me ask you guys a question. Who made it personal? Because it wasn't me.
Oh, I see. He did the I'm Dante method. Oh, he did the I'm Dante method. Take a 2-minute clip and turn that up into 2 hours. Oh, no.
The reason why people are so willing to engage with obviously negative engagement farming content is because they're profiting off of it. To be fair, you're always going to profit off of making videos if you're a monetized creator, but I mean so in the sense where this is realistically the only goal. It's just straight making money, because there is no reason to engage with this.
If that's an average reaction, what other purpose for the video is not you just making money? Which you made a lot of it. You got damn near a mil.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you that point, right? But now I'm gonna give you this. Did we need DH's analysts of the situation? Did the world?
I made the same point in the video to Jidion on stream, and it's that he made that to make some money. The video's at 1.1 million views now, and he just glosses over that fact and deflects and says, who asked for my opinion? As if he didn't just admit he wanted to just make some money. But DH is tripping though. I think this should be enough to debunk the hypocrisy claims. I don't know how much more clear I can be. I'm giving an analysis on how we're giving redundant topics our attention in the pursuit of gain, and even through being influenced by others. Jidion's seen a video about DMing minors for his attention, and he gave it his attention. How much more clear can I make it for you? Certain things don't need to be content. And it's not even the first time Jidion has made something that makes you question his intentions. The dude made a Predator boxing match, and I know Jidion said on stream he didn't profit and it was for embarrassment. But do you think a thumbnail like this is treating the topic with the seriousness and respect it deserves? You see, my point has and will always be consistent. I don't really care about some 2-year-old revenge story that you all try to project onto me. I just have a strong sense of self and the ability to say, this nigga's moving a little weird. So before I wrap things up, I just wanted to show you some parts where I get Jidion with my logic, but he ignores or disregards it.
I know what you're talking about.
So like, let's say like a prankster. Let's say you went to a movie theater, yelled bomb, everybody freaked out, it was on the news and everything, the news reported on it, went critical, everybody makes a video on it, right? Would you get mad at them for making a video about that?
You know what's crazy? I seen you talking about this on stream. I'm happy you asked me this again. The only way I would argue that is if you lobotomize me, because those are not the same thing. No, because I keep telling you there's levels and nuance to each situation.
So why are they not legitimizing it, but I am?
Because Jidion, I keep telling you once again, bro, this is one of the most redundant things I've seen. He literally said, DMing 100 minors until I meet Jidion, and you still got attention. You think that's comparable to someone yelling bomb in a public place? Honestly? I'll be honest.
He's talking to a wall right now, bro. It's literally, you can see it on Jidion's face. He's just waiting to respond. And when you're having a conversation with someone like this, it's not gonna go anywhere. So the best thing you could do is just, yeah, okay, you're right, leave it and just don't engage, because it's gonna only stress you out. Because you're gonna feel like they're not getting your point and stuff, but in reality they're just choosing to ignore what you're saying. So they were never going to understand your point in the first place, because all they care about is themselves and getting their point across and wanting themselves to feel understood and feel heard, and that's all that matters to them. So in this case, yeah, you would not give this attention as well if you're live action having this conversation.
To be honest. Oh, calm down. I can't give a comparison. You're interacting with my hypothetical.
This is one of the most egregious examples. The context was that reporting on a prank YouTuber who yells bomb in public is equally legitimizing the method as responding to a clout chaser, and I told Jidion, no nigga, that's not the same. And then he admitted to it.
Okay, I admit they're not the same thing, but what I'm saying is...
And gave the shitty excuse of me interacting with his hypothetical. Yo bro, what does that even mean? And then he ignores how that hurts his point and re-asks his question.
All I'm asking is, would that legitimize and can cause more harm? by other people copying that. And you said, yeah, they could.
And this is the perfect time to explain the whole watered down thing. I know it was a little silly that I spammed it, but dude, I feel like Yihoon from Squid Games. I played these games before, and Jidion would do this when I was 17. We had a conversation, and whenever I would checkmate him, he'd ignore the question and deflect. I talked about him watering things down because he's trying to make false equivalencies, and that doesn't work if I call it out. Mind you, the man got so caught in a corner, he said that I'm interacting with his hypotheticals as an out.
You're interacting with my hypothetical.
He's such a donut.
This nigga is using evil light skin manipulation to dodge accountability. This isn't even the most egregious example.
Hey, do not put that brother on us, man. And I'm speaking for us light skins, man. Do not do that.
I made a video on Jeffrey Epstein, and Jidion tried to compare me discussing the depravity of the Epstein situation to engagement farming off a fake pedophile.
Just talk about Epstein, just himself and what he was doing. What's the point?
Okay, I have a perfect reason. I think we should continue our conversations about Epstein because there's an ongoing cover-up by the administration, and not talking about that is essentially submitting to the cover-up. So there should be an ongoing conversation about it.
Okay, but doesn't everybody know that it's a cover-up?
Yeah, there should be an ongoing conversation on something like that, because that's something that's trying to be actively covered up by the DHA and the government when there's egregious things that are in there. And it's crazy. Like, have y'all realized how fast that whole topic has been just glossed over? And that's just like one of the detriments of the internet and just this whole fast lifestyle that we've built and made common as a society. Information like that just comes and goes, and we're so flooded with information at such a high volume that when we get stuff like that, we're numb to it. So we get it, we react to it, and then we're just on to the next thing. So something like that is something that deserves ongoing attention. But what he's trying to make his point here, Jidion, is that he was only making those videos for the sake of making money, right? So he was being a PDF or acting out the character of being a pedophile to garner wealth and fame. And you gave him attention. You gave him exactly what he wanted. So that only sends a signal to everybody else out there, or anybody else out there who is willing to go that low and go to that depth, that, hey, I can do it too. Because if he's doing it, I can do it. And then it's going to become a trend, and then it's going to get watered down, and then it's going to become something that is just like the whole you can't believe all women right thing, because there's women out there that scream me too, but it's like it's just an exaggerated situation. And then it makes it hard for women who actually did go through those situations to be able to speak up and actually get justice because of all the false accusations. And it's like, we don't want to go down that route with this whole situation, because that is not where you want to go. But Jidion is ignorant, and what that means is he's actively choosing to ignore the information that's at hand. And then again, he has main character syndrome, so it's all about me, my point here, me, understand me, blah 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 blah. And honestly, I feel like Jidion doesn't even understand what he's saying. I feel like he's just talking to talk at this point. Listening to him, it just seems like he feels some type of way, and because he feels some type of way, he has to act and say something on it. And when you do that, that's not gonna lead to anything good. Trust me, speaking from somebody who's had a lot of experiences and made a lot of mistakes. You want to actually have a path with where you're taking your conversation, and you want to be critical. You want to critically think about the information you're giving and receiving, because it's important to the conversation you're having. And Jidion doesn't realize that. He's just operating with his feelings. And I feel like that's the theme of 2026, is that a lot of men are being exposed, or a lot of content creators in general are just being exposed for being grown children, literally still immature.
But wait, no, wait, doesn't everybody know it's already a cover-up? So what's the point of talking about it?
Bro, what type of Orwellian future are you talking about? Dang, there is a war in Boston say.
Okay, let me hear your
Okay, so you remember CARPE, right? Remember CARPE? They were trying to, like, basically
I don't know who that
censor the
is.
internet. It was a bunch of lies. They were meant to censor.
I don't know.
Damn. Okay, but long story short, these were lies. Everybody knew about these lies, but a big part of why they didn't get passed is because people put a lot of pressure on social media, telling people to call their representatives. I'm just saying that people have more power than you like to believe. And with things like Epstein, bro, people uniting and making videos talking about this, bro, that's bigger than us, bro.
This is the last clip I wanted to show you, because Jidion is trying to argue that making a video off of that engagement farmer is the same as my video I made on Jeffrey Epstein. But not only did he not get it, his chat started to refer to me as a pedophile, which is pretty rich considering I had a comment that would literally predict this. Whenever you criticize Jidion,
Most infuriating part is that because his audience is mostly dumb kids and teenagers that still find Diddy and Epstein jokes funny, you can't talk critically about how insensitive and misguided a lot of Jidion's content comes across without being labeled a pet defender. I do believe that Jidion genuinely cares about getting these preds off the streets, I agree, but between the stupid ads he does in between vids, memifying EDP who is a repeat child predator, giving attention to these clout-hungry losers, or doing collabs with people who blatantly are just in it for the content, it's hard to really determine how much of it he really gives. Yeah, That is true. I can agree with that statement that was just made right there. Because yeah, at the same time you're exposing them, but at the same time, it's like, for example, someone who's doing it for money, you gave him the attention to make money off of a serious topic that people really live and have experienced and gone through, and people have family members and friends that are victims of things like this, and they watch and seen how it's affected them in real time. And to see someone just play on it and play a character, or actually be that and get away with it and garner the attention and fame and money on the internet, it's a joke. It really is, bro. Like,
Jesus!
At this point, Jidion,
Weirdo.
His child audience lashes back and labels all opposition as a pedophile. It's really scary, and it shows you the type of people that are enabling Jidion. And it's kind of crazy that they'd also enable someone who went on a monologue about how my content is shit and how I'm not going anywhere.
And bro, chat man, I know I sounded like a hater earlier saying he's never gonna be a big YouTuber. And what I mean by that, bro, is I believe he can be a big YouTuber, but he's not gonna be a big YouTuber doing stuff like this, bro. Chat, that's not me hating. I'm just saying he's not gonna be a big YouTuber doing stuff like this. And I'm not saying he's gonna be like my clout circle or anything like that. He's just not gonna be a big YouTuber doing stuff like this, man. He just makes dragged out, like a tweet with a topic. He'll drag it out into an 8 to 10 minute video. You see, chat, the reason why I can do content like this and talk about these issues is because how did I get you guys? I got you guys by making original content beforehand.
boy, man.
And I'm not saying you can't get.
Before he even finished his point, what? DH and anybody else is making content, myself included, when I look back at these videos in the future, when I'm going with my chat and we talking about how, like, dang, Kenny, your come up and stuff like that, we're gonna come back and watch this video. Bro, you can make any content that you want as long as you're an interesting person that connects with people. As simple as that. That's really what the content creation space is learning how to connect with people. And how you do it, that doesn't matter. And whether it's doing thought pieces like this, whether it's doing reaction videos, whether it's doing original content, you know, PDF, predator catch, you know, like, what? Come on now. And then Jidion, you didn't create YouTube. You're not the poster boy for YouTube. So people aren't gonna look at you and be like, oh, okay, what he says goes and what he says doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So who are you to speak on something like that? Man, bro, stuff like that irks me, because it's like people be putting themselves on a pedestal when they get to the top, and then it's like, bruh, like, you started at the bottom just like me. And even if you didn't, bro, I have an audience. It's like there's no difference in what we're doing. I make videos, people watch me. You make videos and people watch you. The only nuance is the content that we make and the amount of people that watch said videos. That's it, man. This dude is lame, bro. I used to really mess with Jidion, bro, but it's like, as I'm getting older and growing as a person and maturing as a person, I'm realizing how many of these people that I used to watch haven't. That's why I'm grateful for people like Young Don the Sauce God, I'm Dante, and you know, Corey Kenshin. Who else? Man, DJ Ghost, Chris Smooth. What y'all know about that? Flight Reacts, Agent 000, bro. Like, bro, they all solid dudes. Even if they went through their own trials and tribulations, they grown. You know what I'm saying? They matured and stuff like that. And that's what I can appreciate about content creators like that. If anything, I could say about Jidion is that you're not going to grow acting like a grown baby, acting like a child, acting entitled. Like, come on now, bro. DH, bro, you got it, bro. You already got 50K, bro. Keep hustling, bro. Keep grinding.
Big making commentary videos, but look at the difference with Moist Critical here. Like, chat, this is me being real, man. I'm giving y'all like YouTube advice 101, right? Look, Moist Critical make content talking about stuff going viral. Oh, look what else he also do. He don't make original content, and those videos still do good. Almost 1 million views talking about freaking soda. You know why people watch this content and other content? Is because they like him as a person, bro.
Yes, but Moist Critical has also been doing content for a long time. So that's why he's able to do that. And he's built his space off of being able to just talk. And DH is literally doing the same thing. He's building a community where he could just talk about something and then it's going to go viral. So who are you to say how his channel is going to do? Like, you lame, bro. This nigga lame.
I'm not gonna lie, man. We've all seen YouTube. If I played 5 videos of these different topics from different content creators, we all think it's the same people. Because I'm not saying anything profound. They're not, like, bro, like, I'm gonna be real, bro. None of the people watching the video like DH. They just maybe like what he's talking about, but they don't like him.
And y'all know what's crazy? He was saying the same stuff to me when I was a depressed 17-year-old. So even if I was doing this out of spite, is that not valid? He said none of the people watching the videos like DH. What type of Christian talks like that? This is his second time doing this. He did this to me 2 years ago. And mind you, I've upped 50,000 subs damn near, and I've hit 1 million views on a video, and he's still disrespecting my career. Either he doesn't view creators my size as worthy of respect, or he took it personally. actually did hop in the call afterwards where he tried to patronize my career once again and give me unsolicited advice. And I told that bald bastard off because it's my journey and it's my path, and I have the sense of self strong enough to pursue it. But what really fried me is that after all the disrespect Jidion attempted to throw towards me, he started crying on stream.
You can ask anybody, bro. If you have my number and you ask me questions, bro, they're telling you, hey man, do your videos like this, do thumbnail like that, do title like this, man. Because I never.
Guess what, y'all? We got our thumbnail right here. Let me go ahead and screenshots.
Jesus!
And I'm gonna talk about this because DH brought this up for the second time in his video, and he said religion. I've had my own personal experience with people that are religious, and oftentimes those be the same people that are quick to give you unsolicited advice, try to tell you how to leave, question your beliefs and your morals and your way of living, and try to shape and manipulate the way. Like, don't get me wrong, there are good people. There's good people in every color, space, culture, etc. This common pattern of behavior in just the Christian space where, like I said before, they do all of those things and they have those character traits, and I've experienced it a plethora of time across different family members, friends, random people that I've met, you know, associates at work, etc. You name it. So it's like, and I grew up in a Christian household, don't get me wrong. So if I had to subscribe to a religion, it would be Christianity, but I don't. But man, this dude, he's weirdo.
I want anybody to feel like that. I don't know. But even if I ran into one of y'all, man, I'm gonna give you advice I wish I had, bro. I tell you, I'll tell you, like, people ask how you do it. Bro, I tell them, don't ride the wave. Create the wave. Do things we never did before. You know what I mean? Stay true to you. Don't always chase after everything.
Jidion, I'm gonna stay true to myself and tell you you're a lame ass nigga. A few minutes ago before this, you told your audience in a stream that consisted thousands of people that nobody is watching my videos for me. Go speak your truth, D. So with all that being said, you know, I want to do a little freestyle at the end because I just need to get some things off my chest. Nobody can gaslight me into thinking that I'm not valid. And here's the crazy part about all of this. Everyone watching, none of Jidion's camp, none of these viewers who are watching me even have the balls big enough to contest a big YouTuber and stand on everything they have to say. And now you guys want to try to gaslight me into thinking that I'd be wrong if I were to do this out of pain. I was 17, working fast food, pressed out of my mind. I was going through a really hard time, and your average person with empathy would hear that and say, dang, that's kind of crazy, especially knowing that the nigga allowed a hate campaign to be sent towards during that time, and then when I tell him about it, he ghosts me on Discord. That's why I said I didn't want to hear no Christian slop, because the same Christian who is trying to preach this righteousness went on a monologue diminishing my career, and now his fans are trying to gaslight me into thinking I'm tripping for defending myself or standing on my energy and all of that stuff. But I'm here to say, be yourself, choose you. I feel amazing, and I feel even better getting this off my chest because I'm not worried. And honestly, Jidion, this one's for you. Fuck your camp, fuck you, and it's twin forever. You're not gonna strong arm me just because you have a couple million subscribers. You were money farming, you engagement farmed off a fake pedophile, and I'm gonna tell you that again. I've had the same stance since my first video. I had the same stance on my stream. I'm saying the same stance here. That's weird. But honestly, I really don't know what else I have to say. I feel like the video speaks for itself. The nigga deflects. The nigga didn't even watch my whole video. He's coming into the debate ignorant, and the only thing saving him is an audience full of brain rotted kids. When you have a community full of childish enablers, of course you're going to be insulated from logic. But that's really all I had to say. You know, I want to give Jidion a few more minutes of my attention, considering that 4 minutes was impactful enough he had to turn it into a 2-hour stream segment plus crying gimmick. Thanks to all the people who stood by me, especially my audience. I know we going up this year. I'm gonna just keep being myself. I've reached the level where niggas hating on me really doesn't matter, because the truth is a lot of the people that are hating are niggas who could not do what I'm doing. It's niggas that couldn't make a viral video. It's niggas that are stuck watching their favorite creator and living vicariously through them. I don't even preach hate, but it's niggas trying to turn the person who is going against the YouTube giant into the person in the wrong. Fuck all that. But that's really all I had to say though. Subscribe for more unsolicited opinions.
Man, respect, DH. standing on 10 toes and all your principles. I can respect that, man. And like you said, yeah, be yourself. Honestly, I'm gonna leave y'all with this, because I honestly believe you can achieve anything that you want in this life. If you focus on what you want and then just do the things you need to do, then you can have anything you want in this life. But don't let anybody try to strong arm you or tell you who you are or who you should be or who you will be or who you're not, because at the end of the day, this is your life. You need to take pride in it. You only get one. And why spend time worried about how somebody else feels about your life? And it's hard to get to a place. I'm not going to say it's easy, because it's not, but it can be if you simplify it. But you want to get to a place where, like you said, you're not worried about the admiration, the validation, the anything from other people, and you don't care, because at the end of the day, it's your life, and what you do affects your life. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, because when you sleep, are you satisfied with how your day went? When you go to sleep, when you shower, in those moments when you're by yourself, when anything, are you happy? Are you satisfied with where your life is going? Are you achieving, chasing after your goals? Because there's going to come a day when you have to say goodbye, when you have to let everything go, regardless of your own accord. So I'd say, instead of waiting for heaven after death, try to find heaven on earth. You feel me? But hey, like, comment, subscribe, you feel me? Do all that down there. And you already know, I'm not Kenny, but that doesn't matter, because I'm just like you. Take it easy.